Hello there, my name is Ayman and welcome to the Portler.net YouTube channel. The cameras in our smartphones have evolved so much over the past few years. You don't have to spend so much for a smartphone with a good camera. So today, we're going to do a mid-range smartphone camera shootout between the Samsung Galaxy A5, Samsung's mid-range metallic phone. Samsung Galaxy A7, the big brother of the A5. ASUS Zenfone 3, ASUS's latest main entry phone. And the OPPO F1s, the one that reminds me too much of an iPhone. We've taken a few pictures and videos of all four phones to see which one can shoot best. And we're also going to show you how efficient their battery usage are, as well as how good the phones can perform. Keep in mind that I am no professional photographer, so I want to show you how it performs from the hands of an everyday casual shooter without fiddling much in the settings. So without further ado, let's begin with some photo comparisons. First up, we have a shot of a tall building from afar. It's looking pretty great for all four smartphones, but for some reason the pictures produced by the A5, A7 and the F1s are looking pretty white, while the Zenfone 3 looks more true to life. It was about 5 PM in Malaysia and it wasn't so bright, so while every phone managed to perform admirably, the Zenfone 3 managed to capture it most accurately. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. For the next shot, we took multiple shots of moving cars on the side of the road and picked the best shots. It seemed that all four phones don't have too much trouble focusing on the cars, but as the cars move towards the left, they slowly become out of focus. I'll give you guys some time to take a look at each picture so you know exactly what I mean. Due to very similar results, we'll have to call this round a draw. For this shot, we decided to see how much detail each smartphone's camera can take. The Zenfone 3 utilized super resolution while the OPPO F1s utilized their equivalent Ultra HD mode. As both the Galaxy A5 and A7 don't have a similar mode, they can't capture as much details as the other two phones. The amount of detail the Zenfone 3 and OPPO F1s managed to capture is superb, but the Zenfone 3 manages to do it a bit better as well as more accurate colors. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. For the book shot, we wanted to see each phone's ability to focus, and writings will be a practical challenge for it. Surprisingly, the Galaxy A5 and A7 actually had quite a bit of trouble focusing, and it required multiple attempts to pull off the shot that you see right now. The ASUS Zenfone 3 effortlessly pulled this shot off in a single try. Clearly the laser focus works, and it works pretty damn fast. The OPPO F1s also manages to do it fairly quickly with its face detection autofocus, but the Zenfone 3 and its laser focus is clearly better. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. Keeping up with the standard of having typical fruit shots, we decided to include that as well and utilize each phone's HDR mode. The Samsung Galaxy A5 and A7 managed to do it quite well, but the multiple HDR shots we took ended up looking too bright. The color produced by the ASUS Zenfone 3 looks very lively and the brightness is almost as realistic as what I saw with my own eyes. But it looks like it's having a bit of trouble with focus for the red apples that you see on the left. However, even that is not as bad compared to the OPPO F1s focus. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. We took this shot at a local cinema in Wanutama shopping mall. The area itself was pretty dark and the Samsung Galaxy A5 and A7 managed to produce a picture that looks great despite the bad lighting and is pretty accurate, with the A5 having a slight edge over the A7. The Zenfone 3 did what the Samsungs have been doing in every shot before, having it a bit too bright. The OPPO F1s on the other hand did capture it with the right lighting, but you can clearly see that the picture has noise. The winner of this round, the Samsung Galaxy A5. For this, we took a shot of the parking area downstairs in office building at about 7:30 PM. Both the Samsung Galaxy A5 and A7 didn't fare well in this, as you can see a lot of noise in the picture. The ASUS Zenfone 3 managed to capture the picture pretty well, with the colors being more accurate than the other three phones and the noise isn't as apparent. While the OPPO F1s picture looks close like the Zenfone 3, the noise is much more obvious here. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. Not to forget about the front camera, I also took selfies with all four phones. In the dark, Samsung Galaxy A5 and A7 had trouble focusing on me. I tried over and again and this is pretty much the best that I could get. Even with the front camera, the ASUS Zenfone 3 manages to capture images very well and very accurately. The OPPO F1s, while still pretty good, produce a picture that's wider than it's supposed to be. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. For a well-lit environment, selfies are pretty good on all four phones, but once again, the Zenfone 3 is the one producing a more accurate picture compared to the rest of the phones. Look at that yellow box in the background. Isn't the yellow color more lively, especially compared to the F1s? Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. Of course, a smartphone camera can also do video, so we tried taking some ourselves. All of it in full HD. First, we begin with us walking around Wanutama shopping mall to see what these babies can do. For some strange reason, the aspect ratio of the video on the Galaxy A5 is not 16:9 despite being in full HD. That aside, the video itself looks pretty awesome, but it is a bit shaky. And it's essentially the same for the Galaxy A7, without the aspect ratio issue of course. Both of these phones also managed to capture audio pretty well. The Zenfone 3 is able to record with two different preferences. The first one here is the quality preference. For this, it's not so much that the quality is bad itself, but rather the video seems oddly out of focus. As for the performance preference, the focus is better, but still not as good when compared to the rest. The EIS does help stabilize the video pretty well, but that's pretty much the only plus point it has. It would entice the vlogger crowd though. The OPPO F1s didn't suffer from focus issues, but it sure is pretty damn shaky. At least with the Zenfone 3, the EIS would help make it a viable vlogging camera, but definitely not for the OPPO F1s. Winner of this round is Samsung Galaxy A7. Next, we have the GSM Arena style of recording moving cars on the side of the road. For this, the Samsung Galaxy A5 and the A7 did pretty well. Everything looks well detailed and it managed to capture the moving cars without issues. You can see a little bit of noise on the trees, but nothing severe. You may think that the Zenfone 3 has a bluish tint to the video, but that's not quite it. The colors are captured quite accurately, the trees are more detailed, and the cars shown are as good as what the Samsungs produced. The OPPO, however, didn't do so well. The colors are all washed out, noise is more apparent despite it being shot during the day, and even the sidewalk is less detailed compared to the other phones. Even then, it doesn't seem to focus well with the oncoming cars. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. For the third video, we decided to just pan the phone around Burger King to see how light can affect the camera's performance. The Galaxy A5 and A7 did consistently well here, with a bit of noise and shaky video present when the camera pans inside Burger King, but it's nothing horrible. The Zenfone 3 suffers quite a bit in quality preference, as you can see that the video gets choppy when it pans inside a Burger King, and goes smooth again when it detects a good source of light. In performance preference, it's a lot smoother, but the video doesn't look as nice. EIS did help in making the video not shaky, but that's pretty much about it. While the OPPO F1s didn't suffer from choppy videos, noise is a lot more apparent as it pans inside a Burger King. It also doesn't seem as well focused as the rest, and it's a little bit shaky as well. Winner of this round due to similar performance, the Samsung Galaxy A5 and the A7. And for the last video, we have a time-lapse video. Unfortunately, the Galaxy A5 and A7 do not have a time-lapse option out of the box, nor is it downloadable, so we used a third-party app and used a 1-second interval setting. While the time-lapse looks smooth and pretty great, we have to minus some points as the Zenfone 3 and the OPPO F1s has time-lapse out of the box. The Zenfone 3 has a variety of options when you want to take time-lapse videos. You can choose intervals from 1 second all the way up to 5 seconds if you're willing to record things over a longer period of time. At the time all of this was captured, the sky was a bit cloudy and the Zenfone 3 captured the video the most accurately. For some reason, the OPPO F1s, just like the Galaxy A5 and A7, captures everything a lot more bright than it's supposed to be. You can't even see the clouds on them. The OPPO F1s still did a good job at it, but unfortunately it lacked customization options, which means that you're only able to capture time-lapse videos at one specific speed. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. While we're done with photos and videos, we're not quite done with the comparison just yet. We've also decided to test out the battery life. We made each phone record 30 minutes of video and see how much battery life it has left and calculate the battery life from there. For the sake of speeding things up, we're just going to show you the results after 30 minutes of recording. The Samsung Galaxy A5 had 91% of battery life left, which you can safely assume there's about 5 hours of recording per full charge. The Samsung Galaxy A7 has 90%, which you can also say has about 5 hours of recording per full charge. The ASUS Zenfone 3 had 85% left, which means that it has about 3 hours and 20 minutes of recording per full charge. And the OPPO F1s has about 88% of battery life left, which means that it has about 4 hours and 10 minutes of recording per full charge. The winner of this round, the Samsung Galaxy A5. If you thought the ASUS Zenfone 3 sounds bad, you're gonna have a huge surprise in the next part. In order to test out each phone's strength as fairly as possible, we used AnTuTu benchmark to see how powerful each phone is. Of course, I could just skip straight to the score, but there's something I need to point out. Look at how choppy the Samsung phones are and look at how smooth it's running on the Zenfone 3 and OPPO F1s. Now we can move on to the scores. The ASUS Zenfone 3 finished first with a score of 62,276, followed by the Galaxy A5 at 43,446. Then the test just froze on the A7 and on the OPPO F1s, so I had to restart it. Eventually it finished and the A7 got a score of 43,045, while the OPPO F1s is at 41,519. Winner of this round, the ASUS Zenfone 3. All 4 smartphones that we've tried here are not bad by any means. They're not perfect, but then again, what is perfect? It's great to see that ASUS has really stepped up their game with the new Zenfone 3, as the camera even managed to beat the A5, A7 and the F1s on a variety of scenarios. The price of the Zenfone 3 now feels very justified after seeing how it performs. The only downside here is that the battery life seems to be worse on the Zenfone 3 than the other phones, but it's nothing significant. And with that, we are proud to announce that the ASUS Zenfone 3, which is currently retailing for 1,699 ringgit, is the winner of this camera shootout. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions on what other phones you want us to do, or if you have some feedback about the video itself, do leave us a comment down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to us while you're at it. And with that, I will see you guys and girls again soon.